Hello friends, today we are going to discuss the lunar eclipse which is going to happen tomorrow. Now, before we discuss and how it affects us, let us understand the cycle of solar and a lunar eclipse. Now what happens is moon is orbiting around the earth and earth is orbiting around the sun. Now, at some point, the moon comes between the sun and the earth, and that is when a solar eclipse happens. Whereas, another point of time, the earth comes in between the moon and the sun. That is when the lunar eclipse happens. So, how a solar and a lunar eclipse can affect us is, see, you have to first understand what is sun and what is moon, and astrologically how the sun and the moon, which is placed during our birth time, can affect us. Now we have certain houses in our birth chart, and when you are born at a particular time, that sun and that moon is located at a certain degree, and how the sun and the moon moves, we are also affected with the movement of the sun, the moon, the other planets, and however strange it may seem to you, but yes, we are a part of the universe and the planets do affect us. Yes, another thing I would definitely want to say is that the human spirit is tested by the times that they go through. For instance, how I would say the sun would affect is sun. Sun mostly denotes your own soul. Sun is the energy, sun is the power, sun is authority, sun is government. Any authority is a government, okay? And sun can also be a dictator because the sun rules our life, okay? So that is how we see sun astrologically. There are different aspects to it also, but I won't go too much in details. However, let's go to the moon now. How moon affects us. Now moon is very much connected to our emotions, to our nurturing, to our mind. Okay, so however the day must have gone, it's only during the night that you get to assess yourself. Okay, so what is sun? Self. And what is assessing? It's the moon. So how your intuition, how your capability, how your intellect, how your moods go is all governed by the moon. So I hope I'm clear somewhat as to how the sun and moon work on us. Let's get back to the lunar eclipse. So let us understand the signs where the sun and the moon is placed during this lunar eclipse. Firstly, Jupiter was retrograding in the sign of Capricorn along with Saturn, Shani, and it has moved out of the sign of Capricorn into the sign of Sagittarius. So this eclipse is happening in the sign of Sagittarius, and Jupiter is with Sagittarius along with Ketu, and the moon is placed along with that. So they are in alignment. On the other hand, you have the sun, the Rahu, and Mercury. Mercury again is retrograding, and they are in the sign of Gemini. So Gemini being a dual sign, there will be a sense of confusion. However, let us get into another detail, which is on the 15th of July, the sun will start its southern journey, which is also called the Dakshinayan, and it is going to be in the sign of Cancer. So those who are Gemini ascendant or Cancer ascendant will be definitely affected by it. Also, the Gemini moon and the Cancer moon will also be affected by this. If you are a Sagittarius ascendant or a moon sign, you will be most impacted because the eclipse is happening in the sign of Sagittarius. So here's a short knowing about the signs where the eclipse and this impact is happening. Why I explained you the concept of solar and lunar eclipse is because if sun is governing our livelihood, our day-to-day activity, our own self, then moon is affecting our mind, our intellect, our emotions. So whenever a lunar eclipse happens, it affects you emotionally, it affects you intellectually, it also affects your belief systems. And especially now that the moon is also with Ketu, this is going to definitely affect your mental thought process, your emotions, and your thinking capabilities, and will try to direct you in a different way, where you will probably feel that your belief systems are being challenged. Okay, now I also have to mention that Mars is also in the sign of Pisces, as it is aspecting the sign of Gemini as well. So Mars being in the sign of Pisces, which is a watery sign, you will have a very difficult time communicating your thoughts, your feelings, your emotions, to express and come out fully, and make it seem understood. So this is when you probably feel that your communication is not being totally understood, and it'll be more of a impulsive communication, because emotions are with the sign of Mars and Pisces, and Mars and Pisces are not very good sign, because Mars is fire and Pisces is a watery sign. So you will feel a sense of instability in terms of your emotions. You will probably feel that you are pushed or probably cornered with it. And Sun on the other side is aspecting Saturn as well in the opposite. So your verbal communication could go haywire. So I would suggest that you be very careful with your communication, in case you have something written or verbal which is very important. Please avoid it till the 15th of July. Post 15th of July, you can go ahead and think about it, because the next 15 days is where the impact of the lunar eclipse will be most. So keep your verbal and written communication on hold for a while, and just understand what your emotions are going through, especially because Ketu is the one who's ruling this lunar eclipse. What is Ketu? Ketu is the south node of the moon, which is strongly connected to spirituality, and Ketu is really pretty harsh in terms of making you understand. So in terms of your emotions and your relationships, your feelings, you will feel very challenged, and Ketu will make sure that you have to understand things which you are not willing to understand earlier, and which you wanted to ignore or wanted to avoid, because Ketu makes sure that spirituality, if spirituality is happening to you, it is in a very deep rooted way, where it just lifts you up and makes you feel that you're thrown somewhere with your own internal emotions, because this lunar eclipse is related to the mind, the emotions, and that is the reason why I would encourage you to just be very careful with how you feel, and make sure that you intensify your spiritual practices, you meditate and try and understand whatever it is that you are going through in your current life situation. Another important aspect to this is the sign of Sagittarius, and Jupiter is along with Ketu in the sign of Sagittarius. So they are the main focus of the lunar eclipse which is occurring. Jupiter, Ketu, Sagittarius. Now, even though Jupiter is retrograde in Sagittarius, Jupiter's natural sign is Sagittarius. Jupiter being the guru, he is the wisdom giver. And Ketu, along with it, is spirituality. So, the good side of this is that Jupiter also rules your relationships. So, a lot of times we think that Venus is our relationship, but no, Jupiter is the relationship, because Jupiter some is a planet which governs. It's called the Jeev Karak. That means the life giver, the wisdom giver. So the Guru is already in its own sign of Sagittarius, and Ketu gets exalted in the sign of Sagittarius. Now, what is exaltation? Exaltation is the maximum point of time where an energy can function. So, Ketu being exalted in Sagittarius means that maximum energy of Ketu is present during this eclipse. That means spirituality can be at its peak, and this is a very correct time to get into any spiritual practices. In case you're not initiated to one, you can find a guru, and you may also find that if you have a guru already, you can also feel that your guru is not the guru that you are looking for, and it could be somebody else. So these are the things which may come up, and it is also possible that your relationship with your guru even more intensifies during this time. So it's a very good time for your spiritual initiation and your spiritual intensity. I would also like to point out that Guru will help you, he will guide you through this eclipse, especially because 5th July is also a Guru Purnima, and you must make sure that something within you uplifts and shows you the right sign in terms of your relationship. So look around you, just see what is going around you, and just see the real aspect of each relationship that you have around you, because this is where your impacts of the lunar eclipse will be most made into. And since it's a lunar eclipse and moon is the focus, moon is your emotions and intellect and intuition, you need to be more careful about how you think. So your clarity of thought is where you need to focus on here onwards, and make sure your emotions are well taken care of. Just look around, just feel what is true to you, and the Guru will guide you. So that's all for me. I hope I was able to help you in getting some clarity as to what you should seek, and what you should focus on during this lunar eclipse and post lunar eclipse. So, before closing the video, I would like you to subscribe or share this with people whom you think need it most, and don't forget to hit the bell icon so that next time, in case I post my video, you are notified first. Thank you for listening to me. I'll come up with a new video very soon. Thank you.